Hi everyone, it's me, Charles Norman, Sports Solutions LLC. We are the creators of AthleticSOS, and it is a software that if you're trying to get an athletic scholarship for your high school athlete, then you want to use our software. We'll take their academic information, the sport they play, and the level they can participate at the collegiate level, and we'll show them all the schools they qualify to attend that have that sport at that level. And we don't charge for the software, and it's always down below. I give you a code, I give you instructions for how to use the code, and it's just a great piece of software. And so what I wanted to do today is, it's starting now. It's spring. Everything's kind of moving pretty quickly. And one of the things I wanted to talk to you guys about is everyone's trying to get this athletic scholarship, but you got to understand what's the number one question that a college coach is going to ask when they learn about you or they see you or, something happened where you're on their radar. They're going to ask one question, and it's going to be the most important question for them to make a decision whether or not to continue pursuing you. And so that question is very simply, against whom? And so let's imagine you've done everything else right. And I know I go through these a lot, but I don't know who's going to watch the videos. Some people watch me, all the way across, and some people just bounce in accidentally. They just kind of run across this. But you took the right courses in high school. You got the good grades. I remember that 3.5 and above. And when I say the right courses, I meant you took NCAA Division I level courses. Even if you're going to play Division II, Division III, NAIA, you want to take the courses that qualify you to play at the NCAA Division I level. And you want to make sure you have all your courses done by the timeline that they tell you to do it. You can go to their eligibility website, do both the NCAA and the NAIA, get in both eligibility centers, and that's another thing you want to do. So you took the right courses, you got that 3.5 GPA, because if you're not playing a head count sport, you're playing an equivalency sport, they can only give you so much money as an athletic scholarship, but they can give you some extra money for academic scholarship, towards an academic scholarship, and it makes all the difference in the world on whether or not they're going to continue to pursue you. Remember, there are other athletes that are just as good as you. Maybe you're a little bit better, maybe they're a little bit bigger, maybe they're a little faster, maybe you're a little smarter. Whatever is going on, there's some equality there. There's other kids that can have your spot. So are you in the best position? Why would I come after you when I can only give you some athletic money and I can give them athletic and academic, and it's going to make that decision for that family a lot easier to come to my school versus me just trying to convince you, hey, I can give you this amount, but it's going to cost you this amount over here to go to the school in general. It just doesn't make any sense for them to waste that time unless you're just so superior to everybody else that it's worth it to them. So those are some of the things you have to do. That you took the SAT, ACT. I know I say this every week, but take them, take the test. It's okay. I know you don't have to have the test anymore to play at the collegiate level. I know all of that's going on, but you want to give yourself an advantage over everyone else. So all of that's out of the way. And so now that coach has to make a decision. They've seen your stats. They heard about you through the grapevine. You're in their backyard, maybe. They want to come out and see you. But what they want to know is all those stats, all those accolades, all those newspaper clippings. Who are you doing it against? And so this is one of the things I find out at this time of year. Most of the kids are starting to go and try out for a travel club program. They're getting invited to these showcases or these combines that are elite level. And a lot of the kids don't get those offers. And so now they're in a little bit of trouble, because what a college coach wants to see is they want to see you against other college level players, and they want to see how you react. And why is this so important to them? Because if you can play, right? You've got the stats, you've done all the hard work, in your opinion. But there's something about competing, and I don't care where you are, when you're competing against somebody that's a peer, that's equal to you, or even a little bit better than you. Now how do you show up? At that moment that you have to do something, because psychologically, when you're playing against somebody that you know is good, and you've seen it before, you guys, even on your high school teams, even if you guys are the stars of the team, there's certain teams that you guys have marked off. Those teams are good, and you get a whole different set of nerves playing against them than you do against some of the teams that you know are at the bottom of the level, and you can play really well against. You know you're going to have a good game against those people, or you're going to have a good competition against them. And it's just being a human being. There's nothing wrong with that. But what they want to see is, at those moments, do you belong in that class of kids that are going to come and play at the next level anyway? And you don't even have to be the best person out there. Can you hold your own? Especially, let's say you're playing against some really good D1 level players, and maybe you're a D2, D3 level kid. Maybe it's because of your size, whatever, but your ability to hang in there, your ability to play at that level, that you belong on that field or that court or whatever the competition is, you belong there. Now, you may need to get a little bit better, but they can see it. It's there. You've got that something in you. And that's the piece that I think a lot of people never talk about. What is that something? What is that? And sometimes you can't articulate it. You just see it. You know this kid belongs, and that's who you want to be. So how do you get there? How do you say my stats aren't just puffed up? Well, the way you do it is you start to work out with those kids at that next level. And I know it's hard to do. I know they don't have time for you. I'm running into this in business. When someone's doing better than you, they don't really have time for you unless you're bringing them some value. And that is what you have to be able to do no matter what else you do. You have to bring value. So if you want to work out with the better players somewhere, you're going to have to bring something. You may have to time them. You may just want to watch their workouts. Maybe they need you to retrieve some balls for them or flag something down for them or do something for them. You're going to have to humble yourself and do that. Now, if you're the great player and you feel like that's beneath you or whatever, that's on you. But I'm just saying, if you're a great player, then you want to go do that with some greater players. Maybe you got to find out where some professional players or some collegiate players, where do they work out? Where are they? I'm too good for the high school kids now. Then go find them. And you're going to have to do the same thing. You're going to have to humble yourself enough to go and do that. And here's the other thing I think a lot of people forget. You're not just competing against the kids in your league and for your high school or travel club and all that kind of stuff. You're competing against kids that have an inside track to something. Their parents played for a college. Their parents played professional. Their parents know someone. They're an executive somewhere. They work for the school, the college. All this stuff is going on that you don't even see. And it's why so many parents and so many families get blindsided. They thought they had something worked out, and suddenly it's taken away from them at the last minute. And it's because it's stuff you don't even see going on behind the scenes. I know even with my daughter, at the time we were going through her final year, going into her senior year, from her junior year to her senior year, and people were starting to go visit schools. And so we would get someplace or we get a phone call and somebody that was in competition with her that knew who she was, they played kind of the same position she did, they had already gone on the visit and they had sort of thrown my daughter's name out there in a negative way. So already the college coach has a negative connotation for my daughter. But what really ended up happening was a lot of times those coaches had a negative connotation for that family. That why would you come here and put something negative in my mind about a student athlete I've never even, come in contact with? Why are you doing that? So it shows a little bit of fear on your part. And so when people do things wrong, usually it backfires on them. So I don't worry so much about that, but I just want to bring these things up because what happens a lot of times is you don't get it. You don't know what happened. You don't know what went wrong, and you did nothing wrong. You did everything you were supposed to do, but it didn't come. So these are the kind of things I want you to kind of think about. So this comes down to travel club programs. So if you're going to go to a travel club program, and I'm talking right now for my current juniors that are going into their summer, and then when they come out of that, they're going to be seniors, and that's going to be their senior year. You have to be playing at a high level, and you have to be playing. So if there's a travel club program that has multiple layers, right? They've got the platinum team or the gold team or whatever they're calling it this year. You want to be on that team. And if you can't be on that team, you being on the team below that, I don't think it's going to do you a lot of good. So what do you do from there? You got to go find someplace else, or you're going to have to put together a team. Parents, you guys are going to have to get together, put together a team so that you compete against them. And I hate to say that. Now, if you're a 10th grader or a sophomore that's going to your junior year after this summer, then you may be okay to play on that next level down. Don't play on the third level team. Play on that next level down because you don't want to get caught up. And I would only do that if they don't have a bunch of people in my year playing on the top team. Because if they have that, then how come you're not on the top team if you're so good? And maybe you're going to get better over the summer. And that's another argument that you can have. But I just want you guys to think about these things. You're not stuck. Don't let anybody tell you have to go to this team or you have to do this competition or be in this showcase. Otherwise, you don't make it. That's a bunch of nonsense. But you do have to find out, how do I compete against those kids somewhere else? Where else are they going? I didn't get invited to this. I didn't get on this team. I didn't go to this combine. So where else can I go and meet and be in front of these kids? And it may be your high school program. Maybe you can talk to your high school coach and say, hey, for our preseason, can we play against some better teams? Can you schedule us somewhere? And sometimes they're a year out before they can change their schedule, but sometimes they can throw a couple of things in there. Maybe they can get you into something for the winter league or the spring league or something else that's going on after or before your actual league starts. Sometimes they can do that for you, but you got to get on the court in the field, and you have to be competing against those other players at that level, and you got to show up. So nobody can fix that for you, but I'm just trying to give you some ideas, some things to think about, to put yourself in the best position to be offered an athletic scholarship. And here's the other thing I want to do. So in AthleticSOS, when you're using the software, there's going to be a link to the college for your sport. So let's say you pick basketball for your sport. You're going to see where you're going to find out about the college, right? We got a link to so you can see if the college has your major, what kind of environment it's in. We already have that. But on the right-hand side on one of the pages, you're going to see a link to the college. So it would be for the girls or the men's basketball page. So you want to go there. And what you want to start doing is looking to see who do they compete against? Because maybe you want to go pro, or maybe you want to play overseas, or maybe you want an opportunity to continue playing after the college level. Who are they playing against in their preseason? So let's say you go to a D1 school, but it's a mid-major. It's not the top situation. Then go find out, do they play against some of the better teams during their preseason? Or do they go on a Christmas tournament? Do they do something else too to let you get in front of those people? Although I will say if you're in college, there's opportunities in your off season to go and play at some all-star events and things like that. So if you're a star, you are a star. And you can be a star anywhere, which means I want to bring up this next point. If you are good and you don't get that opportunity at that D1, that dream school that you wanted to go to, you may have to come down a level. The transfer portal has changed everything. And I just watched it go by this week. If you looked on ESPN or anything like that, you saw all of the top D1 players that are transferring. They're going to top schools and they're still transferring. Some of them were starters and they're still transferring. I have no idea what's going on or why that's happening, but just know that you're not stuck. So wherever you get in, what do they say? Get in where you fit in. Go and play at the next level. If you get an offer, take the offer and then go in. And if you are at a college and something happens where you just explode and everyone can tell you can go a step up, go talk to that college coach and say, listen, coach, I really appreciate the opportunity you gave me here. I think I want to try to look for an opportunity to play at a higher level. So will you help me out? And maybe that coach will appreciate the fact that you came. Maybe you guys won the conference in your level for the team that you were on. That's cool. So now maybe they'll help you move to the next level. Maybe they won't, but they can't stop you from going to the transfer portal, and it may cause problems. But maybe you went to that school and you fell in love with it, and some of the other stuff that we've been talking about, why you're playing the sport, is starting to come together for you, that you're meeting people on the campus where you are. You're seeing these opportunities after college that have nothing to do with you playing pro or going on overseas or anything like that. You've got some other opportunities because you started to follow our pattern for AthleticSOS. The reason you're going to school is to make these connections, to get these opportunities, to get access to places that you never thought were possible. You're starting to see it now. You're going, hey, if I stay here, then I've got an opportunity to do some bigger things, even bigger than the idea of maybe playing professionally or going overseas or continuing on with this. I got some other opportunities. I'm going to stay here. I'm doing really great here. People love me here. I want to be where I am right now. That could very easily happen, but give yourself that opportunity and don't turn something down. Don't wait a long time. Yes, if you think you're D1 and maybe you don't want to play at a really low level or small college somewhere, and maybe you'll go to a JC and get yourself your bona fides up. Maybe you need to grow. Maybe you need to get bigger. But the number one thing to move you forward quickly is playing against players that are equal or better than you if you're a really good player. And that will change everything for you. And now that coach's first question, against whom, can be answered in the right way. Well, they participated here. Oh, they play against these guys or these girls, and they're going to this school and that school and this school, and they held their own and they kept their average up against these schools, or they, whatever that is, that's what they're looking for. So anyway, I hope this is helpful. Really exciting time right now. Everything is in chaos as far as youth sports, college sports, even professional sports. Everything's just kind of running around in circles here. So this is a great opportunity. Whenever there's chaos, there's opportunity. And so this is your opportunity to do things the right way. A lot of people are going to try to take shortcuts. You're not going to do that, right? You're going to go in. You're going to keep your grades up. You're going to take the right courses. You're going to get into the eligibility centers. You're going to take the SAT, ACT, and then you're going to get the exposure you need by going to events that are going to put you against other college level athletes. And to me, that's the secret sauce. If you do all of those things, you're going to have the best position, the best opportunity, and be in the best position to be offered an athletic scholarship. All right, guys, as always, best of luck to you in all your endeavors. Next week, we're going to talk about something I think is going to be really important. Things are starting to happen for us business-wise, and I want to tie youth sports, college sports, high school, college sports, and then business. I'm starting to see something that I think it's going to make a big difference for all of us as we move forward. So I hope you guys will join us next week, and we'll see you then. Bye.